Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on Emotional Support, Alessandra is joined by her guest Anch. They talk all about mental health, dealing with loneliness while moving to a different country, and becoming Paris Hilton's BFF. On Dumb Gay Politics, Julie and Brandy interview the high school senior whose viral tweet to President Obama led to his historic nationwide graduation commencement address. In the season 1 finale of Musicals That Never Made It, Gabe and the gang are joined by Broadway's Drew Gelling for an inspirational show about the magic of self-worth in The Great Zazine. On That Black-Ass Show, comedian and actor Jamar Neighbors joins host Dulce Sloan in discussing the cultural impact of the movie Friday. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for a full list of our shows featuring hosts like Gilbert Gottfried, Paula Poundstone, and Kyle Kinane. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show, and remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Attention, all Starburns Audio listeners. This is Cliff Dorfman from Stuck at Home with Cliff and Jason and The Cliff Dorfman Show. You know, when I was growing up back home in Merrick, Long Island, trying to plot my career for world domination in Hollywood, I would have killed for any kind of roadmap, something to lay out the path that had been blazed by all these other artists before me. But there wasn't, and I had to wing it. So when I finally got to a position to ask my favorite artists how the hell they did it, I thought, it's my duty to share this with whoever I could. So that's just what my co-host, Jason Smith, helped me to do. Every week, Jason and I put to record the journey of some amazing, prolific, and talented actor, artists, comedian, creators, writers, and directors to discover the critical and more often than not similar ingredients to their story that got them to where they are today. It's a deep dive that uncovers events and moments that surprise even our guests. We not only draw a solid blueprint of success from each artist that can be applied to your own personal journey, we structure the narrative of the artist's own Hollywood legend. Check out The Cliff Dorfman Show wherever you get your podcasts, or join us live daily at 3:30 p.m. Pacific for Stuck at Home with Cliff and Jason on the Starburns Audio YouTube page. If you don't like it, I will personally send you all of my overdue library books from high school, along with a thank you note for the lovely fucking blender.
Starburns Audio.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Bender, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you. Population Kaplan. Myq Kaplan.
Hey, buddy, how are
Happy
you?
to be here, living in this town with you.
I know. Well, you live in this dumb town with us, but you're a very smart human being. We have always loved you. The fact that, and I just went back and looked at a stand-up set of ours from 2009, which is right around the time we recorded our half-hour specials together at John Jay College. We were paired with you, and that made us so happy and then simultaneously scared because your special was filled with so many jokes, like setup, punchline. It was so good. We were downstairs getting made up, watching your set, just dying laughing. And we're like, we don't have enough punchlines. God damn it. That's what we said.
Well, and that was before you were working together as a team, right? You were only doing like one person at a time.
One person
talking.
does 5 minutes, and then the other person does 5 minutes. Yeah, that was a bad format.
A lot of opposition comedy.
Very weird.
Working together, you can have as many punchlines as I have on my own.
That's what we learned. Here's the deal. You got a new project. We're going to talk about that shortly. But first things first, we've got to get into this dumb world. I mean, the world is still dumb, Mike. We can be quarantined, but it's still dumb.
I believe it.
Right. So we're going to jump into a story sent to us by our awesome fans, and the four of us will try and make some sense of it all.
Please.
This was sent in by Victor Gron Doomscroller. He changed his name, but his handle stays the same, and he's been crushing it during this time of isolation
Thank
for all
you,
of us.
Victor Grom Doomscroller.
Well, it's Mr. at Jake Groney.
Yeah,
who
Groney,
sent it
Groney,
in.
Groney.
Yeah, one more time. So thank you so much. Okay, you ready for this? It's fun. They ordered pizza to support a local business during the pandemic, but Chuck E. Cheese showed up
God
instead.
damn it, Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese. Have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese?
I think I certainly went to, if not my own, but many other kids' birthday parties when I was yesterday. It was this past
I was
weekend.
gonna say,
that is
Mike,
weird.
I mean,
Mike,
you have a mustache now, and that feels like it
looks
would.
great.
It does look great, but it feels like
Oh
it'd
yeah,
be
that's
weird.
where I got this mustache at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
Oh,
how
that
many
gives you a
lot of
tickets? How many
tickets.
tickets was that mustache?
Oh,
8 million.
I won all of the skee ball.
Oh, off the ski ball.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
God damn it, Chuck E.
I remember
Cheese.
going to Chuck E. Cheese so much to look and when I was a kid, and it was just consistently of my mom being like, "Danny, get out of the ball pit. We're leaving.
Get
Like,
out
I
of the
would
human
refuse-
habit trail. You know, like there's a thing where you climb up in the habit trail. and
The
it's
one
just-
in Eagle Rock doesn't have a ball. Neither
No,
has a
it
ball
has
pit
a
nor a
habit
habit trail.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
Ooh, this
I
is
have
that
not seen
early
it.
opposition comedy they were
I
doing.
have not seen it.
Oh man, maybe I haven't been there in like
You
10,
haven't,
12 years.
and I've been there recently a lot, and I ain't seen.
They
nothing.
serve beer at Chuck E. Cheese.
By the
I mean,
pitcher.
so here's my question: in a post-Corona world, will we be able to go to Chuck E. I don't think you can possibly go to a Chuck E. Cheese.
Like I didn't trust the
We-
people there before.
We will have to each have our own home ball pit. That's what we do
That's
now.
right.
It's a win-win.
Home ball pit might actually work. But the idea that like Chuck E. Cheese was probably never cleaned in the first
No,
place.
you're touching a bunch of stuff that a bunch of kids who are sick are touching, and then you're going and eating pizza.
Its motto is its logo. Its mascot. That's the word I'm looking for. Its
Yeah.
mascot's a rat. It's a rat. It's run by a rat.
The rat was the delivery system for the plague back in the day, and now
Oh, yeah.
All right, so they ordered pizza. They got Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, they got Charles Escobar cheese. Okay.
Damn it.
Kendall Neff thought she was supporting a local business when she and her husband ordered food Saturday evening. The pizza shop listed on Grubhub as Pasquale's Pizza and Wings seemed independent at first. Its menu offers those items and little besides a cookie pizza and canned sodas.
Hey, Pasquale.
Hey, I like a cookie pizza.
Yes, the Oaks, Pennsylvania resident was preparing for another night in and something cheesy, and her husband was craving wings. On first glance, they assumed the restaurant with no reviews at the time was a small business.
There's your red flag.
There's
know.
your red flag. No reviews,
If
Mike.
you are ordering food from places with no reviews, you live life on the edge.
right?
They didn't even ask their friends and family to leave some reviews to pre-order the restaurant as
Hey,
we
man.
often do it with our albums. Get it up on the rankings a little bit. Get some yelping. But this is the best pizza place that my grandmother, strangers have ever had.
Exactly.
Right, their own employees should definitely have boosted it.
But again, this is what happens. This is how you know, or you should know, that yes, a family-run restaurant would have all of their friends.
Sure.
If Pasquale's was a family and they had the Italian restaurant,
Right.
The Pasquale family that came over
but by
from
the way, you know
Sicily,
how you
Italy.
You know how you go to an Italian restaurant and order wings? That should have been an indication.
Hey, it's
Hey,
a nice wing.
I like a football wing. And so the idea that that tells you it's part of a larger conglomerate.
Right. Or at least steer clear of it. I'm not trying to like.
I put this in the same context as comedy clubs, and Mike, you know this as well. When you're on the road, the clubs that are run best are the clubs that are owned. Like there's like 2 clubs or 3 of them, and they're owned by the person who is in attendance most nights, and so it's a ship.
They care about it.
They care about it. They're there. When you get into a giant chain, it's like
Much
I don't know
harder.
who's running this place. I really
But
don't
I mean,
know.
would you guys buy?
At a giant chain, if they do it this pizza restaurant style, it would be like a comedy club, like an Improv or a Funny Bone, but then open, just putting on the website, be like, it's the old Funny Shack, no reviews. Get your wings, your jokes
Yeah,
winged at you.
Your old
At the
funny
old-
factory.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Get your chicken fingers and hummus.
Support
plate.
local. Like they're really trying to pull on that support
They were
local
trying.
heartstrings.
But I just don't think.
They're trying to trick you. They're trying to trick you because they know if they put Charles E. Cheeses at the top of it, boom,
Right.
no one's
one's
gonna,
buying.
But also,
Who's
I
gonna
don't
order
think that the four of us, nor anyone listening to this, would buy anything online that had 0 reviews.
I think that is.
Yeah, but Dan,
That is-
Google is the grand equalizer. If you say pizza and you Google it and it just says Pasquale's comes up first, you're like, all right, I'll try
Well, it says at first glance, they assumed the restaurant with no reviews was a small business trying to weather the pandemic, and they wanted to support it.
no reviews equals no stars.
It turns
No
out
reviews, but it also was one of the first ones that came up.
Yeah.
They had massive search engine optimization
That's
in
right.
operation.
That's right, but no reviews. How could no review? Again, that is an incongruency that these people should have figured. I don't want to blame the victims here.
No,
but,
no.
it turns
No, they're
out,
they were being tricked by a giant corporation trying to trick them. The trickster, like if you get tricked by the devil, you're better to be tricked by the devil than to be the devil.
Exactly.
Correct.
Thank you.
It turns out the Grubhub listing, so that's where they were looking, was just solely on Grubhub listings, was for a virtual restaurant operated from the Chuck E. Cheese in Berwyn. Pasquale is the pizza-making character in the franchise's lore and animatronic shows, according to the Chuck E. Cheese wiki, which also is a thing we all know.
Okay, so you should never have to go deep into the lore of a restaurant in order to know if you're being screwed, right?
Unless that lore is the restaurant in Denver where they do the diving shows and the...
Have you ever been to Casa Bonita in Denver? They do cliff diving shows.
I don't think
in
I
the
have.
restaurant. There's also a
But-
man in a gorilla costume that they trace. Don't they chase him and try and catch him?
There is.
There's an old black Bart character where they
I mean,
have
our joke, which was in our stand-up, which we did in our in Scars and Stripes, which is on Amazon or on
Audible.
Well, our joke was that they say it's authentic
Acapulco style cliff diving inside this restaurant. Authentic, yet every diver is a white kid from the suburbs.
Right. So so this is the only job in America where white people have stolen Mexican people's jobs, and we're all just okay with
And
it.
everyone's
We're
cool
all
with it.
okay with it. I have a
Go
picture
ahead,
here.
Mike. Go ahead, Mike. What were you going to say?
I like it. And I feel like here's what maybe happened is perhaps this wasn't even supposed to be a restaurant. Maybe it's like when there's a phone number in a movie that actually goes somewhere
Yeah.
because they set it up for fun. Like if you're playing the video game of Chuck E. Cheese, you're like, oh, look, there's a virtual restaurant in the world of this restaurant. There's a fake kitchen in here.
That's right.
Hey, somebody called our fake kitchen looking for pizza. I guess we send it to them?
Yeah, I guess
so
we
now
make
we
it.
gotta make it, I guess.
I have a picture here of Pasquale in case anybody was wondering what he looks like.
I mean,
there and there.
take-
Jay, if you want to.
Jay, please
Let
describe
Mike-
Pasquale. You first
Let
show
Mike
him.
take a look.
All right, Mike, do you see that?
Oh yeah. I think I got it from the sound of the tone of your voice that you just made.
I
And
mean,
I was right.
He is like, take
Mario
and Luigi and say they aren't
Racist enough.
stereotypical enough.
Now, this is not a recent reference, but also very like Welcome Back Kotter vibes.
Yeah.
Is it Dave Kaplan? Is
Gabe.
that-
Gabe
Kaplan.
Kaplan.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave Kaplan is a Chicago sports
All right,
personality.
Gabe Kaplan.
It says here,
It's kind of like Gene Shalit.
it's just
It is very Gene Shalit.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny that my reasoning for choosing the place and being a small business that needed our help kind of backfired, Kendall Neff said.
It did.
On the Philadelphia subreddit, she posted a text exchange with the delivery driver who confirmed that he picked up Pasquale's
From Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, from Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese. Neff also provided a receipt showing Pasquale's address as 270 Swedesford Road, the same address of the Berwyn Chuck E. Cheese. I love that she became Matlock halfway
Yeah,
through
she
this
suddenly
story.
became like a
I'm
crazy.
breaking this wide open.
Okay, so here's the text exchange. I'm going to read it for you guys between the Grubhub delivery driver, who does not work for Mr. Pasquale, who also doesn't exist. This is your Grubhub driver, Richard. I left your order outside of your front door. Thanks, Kendall replies. You're welcome. Enjoy your meal, and although they wrote mail, and have a great
Enjoy your
weekend,
mail.
and have a great weekend. You too. Also, just curious. Here's where it starts.
Here's where she had to dig in.
Was this food from Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
And then he says, there was a Chuck E. Cheese store, but the windows had the wing restaurant on them.
Hold
I
on a
was
second.
curious
There was
too.
a Chuck E. Cheese store. When has it ever been considered a store?
Mike, what is going on, Mike?
Like the gift shop of Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
right. There is
Fair.
a gift.
But
That's a
don't
good
you
one.
love that he says the windows had the wing and restaurant on them? I was curious too. So Chuck E. Cheese went as far as to put decals on the window to make
Yep.
it seem like they are now a pizza and wing restaurant.
They just want to be like, what?
Then he sends a new message where he wrote, "It smelled good." And then she writes, "Ha ha, it is good, but it's totally the Chuck E. Cheese pizza. My husband said that the chef character at Chuck E. Cheese is named Pasquale."
By the way, this is a lot of text going between two people. I'm like, if
do
I was
not know each other.
her husband, I'd be like, are you into this guy?
Yeah,
Like,
Jake from State Farm.
what is
What's
going
happening?
on?
If I may,
Yes.
Yeah.
it seems to me that what's happening here is like this person tried the food and was like, this is definitely Chuck E. Cheese's pizza because that's all we've been eating up until the pandemic. We've been Chuck E. Cheese every night. Now we're like, we should support a local business. Hey, is this also Chuck E. Cheese?
It's like the worst.
We're
trick
right
anyone
back
can-
where we started from.
We can't get away from it.
They're in the lamest episode of Black Mirror.
Yes. Blackish Mirror.
Yeah.
Wait, which have they made that
No,
episode?
they
That's really fun.
They
Yeah.
should. Blackish Mirror.
we should write that as a spec script.
She says, so she goes, it is totally it. Pasquale is the character. I think they made up this secondary restaurant for takeout now that they can't be open.
This is such a long text exchange.
To which the Grubhub delivery driver responded, sneaky, sneaky, LOL. I get it, though. You know what I mean. Which is them,
what I mean?
which felt like them continuing the conversation, but also trying to end it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
All right, I got more stuff to
And
do.
then she texts him ... I'm lonely.
yeah. You up? You
What
up?
if she is starting? This is the beginnings of her wanting to have an open relationship with her husband.
Anyway, we're Polly.
Yeah, so come on back whenever you want.
Deliver what
and
you
you know
want.
what? If they all are, kudos to
Good
them for
for them.
finding love during
Agreed.
this time.
Agreed.
No shade at all on my end.
None.
The wings were nothing to write home about. There's some shade. The pizza.
Wow.
They're not picky though. If someone was really snobby, they might not be happy with it. Kendall Neff said. So she's cool with her.
I love that she needed to make a distinction between her and someone who's really snobby about pizza.
Who in their right mind would eat chain pizza and not know what it was?
Jake,
You.
tell the story, Jay.
All right, so
And this is, by the way, our friend Derek Lipkin, who listens to this show. Great guy, friend up in
Derek Lipkin, who loves to point out whenever we get something wrong.
Yeah, Derek Lipkin, who I love so much.
I
New
love him
baby,
and
everything.
him and his wife and his baby.
Scarborough Corrections
He
Department.
is one of the most wonderful people in the world. He also, I feel like, gets off a
Relishes
little bit
on
when he's
how
like,
many times we get things wrong.
get it wrong or the feed's not working.
Right.
We should call him Derek Actually Lipkin.
Right.
That is,
So he said he wants to create a drinking game that whenever you're listening to Scarborough Country, whenever Jason and I go into Carson voices, that is bizarre.
That is wild.
You have to drink whenever Jason tells the story of Domino's, which he's going to do
the
right
very
now.
short story, which no one on this podcast or anyone in my universe knows, is this, Mike. I went to a 3-year-old's birthday party when my son was 3, my oldest child. So I hadn't been to a lot of these birthday parties before. It was at a beautiful house. I'm in the kitchen.
Someone brought out a pizza
on this beautiful marble sort of circular tray, and I reached over and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat like 3 or 4 of these pizzas. And so I grab a piece of pizza, and I don't care if it's good or bad. I just am excited to be eating like hot cheese on bread and having like a clown entertain my kid. And I eat this pizza, and I'm like, this is the best pizza I've ever had. It's like hands down the best, like the seasoning, all of it. So I go to this woman, and I'm like, number 1, did you make this pizza? Number 2, if you didn't, you have to tell me what restaurant this is from, and I took my phone out to put it in my notes, and she's like, it's Domino's.
fucking idiot.
You fooled me, number 1, by putting it on a marble slab. I don't put it all
That
on
is
me.
true. Presentation. is
Present-
everything.
But I'm gonna tell you,
What?
Domino's. So Domino's you know, they had this like pro-life thing going for a while, and I'm like, do I have to because I love this pizza so much, do I have to now recalibrate when I think a child is a child? I don't know. That's how good the pizza was.
What were you going to say, Mike?
2 things. 100%, you were taken in by the nice house. You were
Yes.
tasting the nice house.
Sure.
Like there have been studies they show we're drinking water from the same tap or hose if you're told that it's from a glacier or from a pristine stream from
Yeah.
somewhere, and this is $7. As much as the water you think it costs, your brain actually tastes it better. So you're just a human victim to the trickery of science. And the other thing I just wanted to say real quick is the woman clarified the wings were nothing to write home about, yet they were certainly something to write someone about.
Reddit.
Very true.
Number 1. And number 2, Who is the type of person that when they are away from home, like in Iraq or somewhere,
Or no,
like,
just anywhere like
they
Scotland.
have to write home about wings?
Yeah.
Because they're that good. I mean, it would have to be really like the greatest thing since sliced bread. The first time sliced bread came out, you'd be like, I gotta tell you right now. Also, we are all at our home, so there's nothing to write home about
There's
because
literally nothing to
that's
write
your
home
journal.
But think of pre-pandemic. Like, honey, where are you going? It is 11 o'clock at night. We've got to go back to I need to get a postcard right now. I have to write home.
If I don't
about
write
these
home right
wings
now.
that I just enjoyed.
You were totally on point, all of you guys, though, about Jason eating the ambiance, because Kendall Neff went on to say, it is automatically better tasting food when surrounded by tokens and tickets.
There you go.
Unfortunately, Pasquale's online menu doesn't offer the option to order the pizza. This is the coolest. What I'm about to say to you is possibly...
Well, let's hold it, and we'll take it after the break, shall we?
We have a break built in here. We can do it now if you
fine.
want. We can do it now
I
if you want.
I love that you say you have something that's
Okay,
the
we'll
coolest
take a
thing.
quick break. When we come back, I will tell you what I have
Think is the
discovered through
coolest.
this article is the coolest thing about Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, Myq Kaplan is with us. We're going to take a quick break. This is Dumb People Town. Don't go nowhere.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey, Randy Sklar here from Dumb People Town. I know you townies out there are looking for other podcasts to consume during the quarantine. We have a great one for you. A guy who was a guest on our show was fantastic on our show, Jordan Harbinger, who has the Jordan Harbinger Show. It's a fantastic podcast, digs deep into stuff. Jordan, tell us a little bit about stuff that you've covered on recent shows.
Sure. In a recent show, we had Chris Buckner. Now, this guy investigates counterfeiting, not like currency counterfeiting, but that fake Gucci bag you got for $12.
Yep.
And he traces it all the way back to organized crime. So you think you're buying it from a little old lady in Chinatown or, at some market, but you're giving money to MS-13 or something like that, who's then, potentially giving it to organized crime or even terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda. I used to think that was hyperbole, but it turns out it's not. And it's not just wallets and handbags. There are airbags where when they go off, they'll friggin' go straight through your head and kill you because there's just metal pieces in them. Or cancer drugs that don't have any active ingredient in it. So it gets a little nefarious and evil. Cool. And it quickly ends at the old lady who you think you're helping out and kind of gets really devious really quick, especially since those same smuggling networks that they use to get the goods in are also known to smuggle in drugs, guns, and even people.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the show McMillions, just having watched all of it. And I know the best part about it that our fans will really relate to is that anybody who thinks they're smart is usually pretty dumb.
I can agree with that. That's the whole criminal thing, is like the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Like, I'm so smart, I'll never get caught doing this. And it's like, well, it's really, really obvious when somebody with two brain cells to rub together kind of comes through and investigates this.
Well, I love this. For fans of ours, you will love this show as something new to check out. The Jordan Harbinger Show. Check it out.
Guys, being home so much, especially during a crisis like this, can be a breeding ground for anxiety. Without the stability of the normal daily routine, I know it is tough. We have been trying ourselves to stay in a routine, to try and get work done, but it's hard.
It's so hard. It is very easy to get overwhelmed. It is very easy to sit here and say, I don't know when it's going to go back to normal again. And so you have your normal anxiety that you live with, and now there's a mountain of world anxiety that's on your shoulders. People need therapy. I know this. My wife is a therapist. Her practice has grown actually in this time because people are needing that connection. And so that is why I'm so grateful
for our sponsor, these guys, for Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm just happy they're here. We're talking about Talkspace online therapy. It's more committed than ever to expanding access for support for anyone
because they get it. They know what we're all going through right now.
You get the support of a licensed therapist from the safety of your own home. You can reach out from your device whenever something is on your mind. You can send your therapist a text, audio, picture, or video messages from your phone 24/7. as much as you need to. Everything happens within Talkspace's secure platform, all on your schedule. They'll match you with a licensed therapist based on your needs and preferences. They have thousands of licensed therapists trained in over 40 specialties, including the most important for right now, in my opinion, anxiety, depression, and relationship issues. And once you're matched, you can start the very same day.
So they know how immediate it needs to be.
This crisis has reminded us that we're all vulnerable and that it's okay to reach out for support. Again, Mental Health Awareness Month, guys. Let's take advantage of this. Talkspace, you can connect with a licensed therapist to talk it out, all from the safety of your own home. So
That's another important thing. You're not putting yourself in jeopardy, physical harm.
Here's the bottom line. You deserve support. You don't have to struggle on your own. Your Talkspace therapist can be your dedicated support system, there to help you feel healthier, more empowered. That's the way we want you to feel, our listeners, even in these uncertain circumstances. As listeners of our podcast, we're going to give you a nice offer here. You get $100 off your first month of Talkspace. To match you with your perfect therapist, just go to Talkspace.com or download the app and make sure you use the code SCLAR. You get $100 off. It also lets them know that we sent you. That's SCLAR at Talkspace.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We got Myq Kaplan with us. He is a great follow on Twitter and
just one of the best joke writers out there. And tell us what you got that people can go out and consume right now of yours.
Sure. Depending when this is in your life, if it's May 8th, 2020 or after, there's a new album that
it is.
out.
This drops tomorrow. We're recording on a Thursday.
Wow.
It will drop on a Friday. So yes.
Beautiful. Then my new album called AKA, my latest stand-up comedy album, is available all the places. Thanks for downloading, listening, streaming, sharing, not even listening, but rating and reviewing it, buying all the copies, sending them to your dad or mom for Mother's or Father's or non-binary Parents' Day, whatever it is.
Yes.
It's called AKA. It's my favorite album that I've ever created. I think it's the best comedy I've made. So if you've ever enjoyed my comedy before, it's even better. And if you haven't enjoyed it, it's even better.
Well, I'll say this, that for our fans, again, right now, people are saying, what can I get into that is new? People are asking us for suggestions all the time, and I know you get it too, Dan. This is one of our favorite comics out there, just a brilliant joke writer. And if you're saying you're the most proud of this comedy album, I cannot wait to listen to it.
So this is anywhere you get comedy. Anywhere.
AKA.
Did you do it at our
yes.
friend Blonde Medicine? Did you do it through Dominic?
Blonde Medicine is the label. We are label mates.
We are.
You can go
So
to
I love that label.
Wonderful. blondemedicine.com/AKA or / all the albums on there. Check them out.
Yeah, Dominic Del Bene, who runs that label, is just one of our favorite people in the business.
person.
Top shelf dude.
Fantastic.
So, okay, we're going to check it out. AKA Myq Kaplan, and it's MYQ Kaplan. That's how, if you're looking it up and you're typing in MIKE, you could also type in Pasquale's, and maybe that would come up too. Speaking of
MYQ.
yeah.
Now, there's a thing that Chuck E. Cheese does that I found out in reading this article. They do not do this with their new bullshit Pasquale's restaurant.
What do they
and
do?
why they are not doing is beyond me, because if there's anything people need in their life right now, this would be one of those things.
Which would be?
It says it's automatically better the food is when surrounded by tokens and tickets.
Sure.
Unfortunately, Pasquale's online menu doesn't offer the option to order a pizza box that turns into a mini skee ball game, and Chuck E. Cheese actually does. I have a picture for you here. It is a pizza box you can order that turns into a skee ball game.
This is great.
This is what, if you're a pizza place and you have the option to send this to people in
That
their home,
is the coolest
your
thing
own
I've ever
personal,
seen.
Like
Goodness.
if Chuck E. Cheese is like, hey guys, we know you can't come, get sick at our restaurant / play area
Why not
anymore.
get sick on our pizza?
We're gonna send you the food, and we're gonna bring a little bit of Chuck E. Cheese to you. Look, how cool is this skee ball? I would play this.
That looks so
you
cool.
could turn that into a drinking game with your roommates.
And by the way, anybody who has kids just loves the idea of them playing a ball game at the table.
Yeah, of course. Here, there's an article that they linked to about the skee ball pizza box.
Oh
I'll
my
read it really
God,
quickly.
no,
They've released
Dan.
a new pizza delivery box that transforms into a home version of the Alley Roller skee ball game. The Alley Roller pizza box comes with any medium or large pizza delivery order.
Does it come with a ball?
It includes 3 Chuck E. Cheese themed game balls.
What?
And you can get it from over 500 locations by ordering via Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats.
Dang, shouldn't have gone to Pasquale's.
You can also get unicorn churros with any large pizza delivery order placed. I'm going to ask you guys,
Made out of
just
true
out of fun,
unicorns.
How much do you think it costs to add unicorn churros to your Chuck E. Cheese / Pasquale's delivery order?
All right, Mike, you're our guest. You can go first, Tig, which is the slot between me and Jason, or third in terms of guessing.
I'll go first.
Okay.
$7.
$7.
To add unicorn churros?
$4.99.
Okay, $4.99.
$8.99.
$8.99.
Yep.
You can add unicorn churros to any large pizza delivery order when placed via DoorDash or
Before
Grubhub.
you say it, Dan, I'm going to say this. Before you even say it, I am going to be disappointed one way or another. There is no way that I'm going to ever say this is the exact amount they should charge for unicorn churros to be added. I will be like, this is way too little, or
Yes.
it's way too much.
Right.
Okay.
The total amount to add unicorn churros
Is
$1.
that is too much. That is way too much.
Oh man, what
I
a
was right.
good bit.
We'll get out.
$1 for your.
I
Come
know.
on, this is made out of true unicorn horn.
We'll get out of here in this last little bit. In the original story, delivery groceries have seen a spike.
Sure.
Yeah, but they have struggled to keep up the demand, so people are trying to do this. For Neff and her husband, the delivery services have helped them stay safe during the pandemic as they are home with their 25-week-old daughter, Millie,
Jesus
who was
Christ.
born unexpectedly on Halloween.
Don't feed your bit. All right, you're in New York, Mike. Where are you?
Yes.
What part of New York do you live?
Park Slope, Brooklyn.
Okay, so I mean, how are you handling it? There are so many people
Love
in New
Park
York.
Slope.
Are you staying in? Are people out? Are they walking around? What's the vibe on the ground in New York right now?
My girlfriend and I are in for the most part. I live a block and a half from near park, and I go into the park and stay on paths away from people
Right.
once in a while. But
Yeah.
mostly I'm in, and everybody outside. Most of the people have the mask vibe down, and
Yeah.
and are. You move away, you move out of the way. You have the knowing glance. It's nice. There's a silent solidarity.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Nice. Well,
just
that is
be
our story, friends.
Just be careful. Like, if we've learned anything here, is that number one, Myq Kaplan has a fantastic new comedy album
Called AKA,
and everyone should pick it up.
Yes.
Number two, don't ever order food from a place that has zero reviews. And comes up first in your search. That should be in.
I mean, they're lucky that their baby wasn't stolen, right? You know what I mean? Like, that could have gone many different directions.
Many different.
That's right.
Many different.
Myq Kaplan, thank you so much for joining us on the show. I can't wait to listen to your comedy album. Dude, you're the best, and keep making great stuff.
Thank you so much for having me in the dumb person town in dumb person world. I'm happy
Dumb People
to-
Town is a state of mind, and God
Yes.
damn it, it's happening everywhere.
And look at me getting the name wrong. I'm so dumb.
Yeah, look, I didn't expect you to get it right because you're too smart. Thank you, Myq Kaplan, and oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down. It's Dumb People Town.
Starburns Audio.
A podcast network.